All righty. My name is Howard Martell, known as the Home Profit Coach here in Hampton Roads, Virginia. That's right, in Hampton Roads, Virginia, where I am actually going to speak to you today about what I was going through yesterday at day one of our Five Rings uh, regional training camp with all the people who are part of a mission of getting 100,000 new, let's say, new people who are life benefit specialists. And we got to meet with I got to meet some incredible people and feel the love in the room. And I definitely feel at home with every single one of them. And let's just say it's a humbling experience because I truly believe that God connects you, whether you believe or not, with like-minded leaders. And that's what I felt from the time that I got there early. Today, our events start between 8:30. We've got some incredible testimonies coming out from different people that are growing because of the initial leadership team. A little bit about myself. I served in the military for 20 years, 10 days honorably, and it propelled me into the entrepreneurship realm in 1990 with a small $10 business. I'm no longer with that business. They diversified into pretty much nothing. It was selling .ws domains, which is Western Samoa domains. It's still around, but I've moved on, graduated. I've been with the company almost 17 years, helping people with traffic tools and education sources that I can use pretty much for anything. I can use it to help me build uh, educational type of information to help people not only money, but faith, finance, and so much more. My mission, like a lot of missions, is to give back to the community. I was in cyber for over 30 plus years, on and off as a contractor. The longest time I was under contract was up to this point was January 29th, 2026. Let's flashback. Um, Started out of the military and stuff when I left, we were dealing with sequester. So I worked for a contracting company because people needed somebody to run security scans. I flew out to Fort Huachuca. Once I went the interview process and I came home three times. We didn't work on the weekends, and all we were responsible to do to C3 send there in Fort Huachuca. And with the Army, they just wanted bodies, a capable body with a clearance to be able to run these scans and just show their vulnerabilities. That's it. It was one of the easiest jobs. I got paid as a 1099 and I made a quick $10,000. So I planted that financial stewardship seed, and then we lived off of that and the other money we had for almost 2 years, plus my military pension the next month when it kicked in. I wasn't getting my disability because I was waiting on it to be approved. Well, God provided. And in January, I started getting paid that. So we were living off of that. Now, this story is incredible because I started investing at age 19, but I didn't know what I was doing. And then age 25, I discovered a company that helped me in the mall and stuff. And we started to put those financial seeds down, that money, that manna, as we call it in the Bible. And during that time, I learned a lot, but I wish I knew at 25 that I told the 19-year-old, hey, you need to use the power of compound interest. You need to use the power of the rule of 72. Well, let's talk about Five Rings in my experience just in the last few weeks. Um, this journey started after January 29th, once I was officially unemployed. I got my severance pay. I got my last 2 weeks of paychecks. Boom. We've been doing fine. We downsized on a lot of things. We are not planting financial seeds in anything right now because we set up those financial seeds many years ago in my mid 20s. And now I'm screeching towards the young age of 53. With that experience, I had a revelation that God wanted me to have a new purpose. That new purpose is sharing the Money 101, why I work with Five Rings Financial. Like I said, this was a regional event. This was anywhere from 50 to 100 agents across from North Carolina. We had people travel from Vermont, Texas, you name it and stuff to come to this event. And it was like a big family because when the owner is hugging his leaders and then he introduces himself to you, he doesn't seem like your typical owner. He is a person that really truly cares because he understands the value that his team provides. And in Virginia Beach, they built an incredible team. I mean, incredible, powerful group of men and women, more women than anything. So I'm joining the minority, but I'm also have a different mindset about this because I feel this is like what I was at work when we were working together in those trenches and doing the required risk assessments and all that when I was doing that. But I was starting to feel that non uh, compelling things like, what am I doing with my life? There's something bigger that the Holy Spirit wanted me to do. And so I said, "What do I gotta lose?" The last 2 years in the military, I had the honor of coaching and providing military members with sound financial advice, and I went to a one-week school, and I had my personal example, great credit score, everything else. You had to have that. I had to show my credit score, and that wasn't a good and I signed before I went to school. I had to sign something to say, "Yes, I will maintain that." As a leader, that was my responsibility to keep my flock, which was my sailors and the sailors within the different divisions at the largest communications facility in the Atlantic. Took me 18 years to get that, but I always wanted to do that as a frontline supervisor because it prepared me for the time that I'm at now. So, hey everyone, that's a little bit of story about Howard Martell. It's not about me, it's about you. So many families are struggling right now. We realize that, and they don't understand how living benefits work. It's a plan that allows you to feel good at night because if something happens to you or your loved ones, that income stops and the bills pile up. But what if you have built into these policies that we were talking about, a ability to be able to have a living benefit that you can borrow against terminal illness and so much more. We learned about that. We learned about the different vehicles and how we are the engine that shares that with our local community and then beyond because we're in all 50 states. So our mission is to help you live the best life you can, but protect your family and understand the different tax deferred vehicles out there so you can be a better steward of what God has provided. I'm not afraid of saying God because that's what I met with a lot of people. I met people that are in clergy that are very, very successful. They're excited for me because we are fellow brothers and sisters in Christ. There's what I love about it, there's no competition. The only competition you have is you. How many people can you tell the good news about? It's like spreading the word, but you're spreading the word about money. You're understanding, hey, it's not about me. It's not about how many people I can get to the money one-on-ones. I want to get everybody the money one-on-one so then you can understand why I, a few years back with my wife, decided to come to that money one-on-one. And how it's transformed my life is I'm seeing the financial blessings by just planting that financial seed. I even rolled over my almost 10-year 401k Roth and 401k, which is an IOU basically, tax free. Just have to document it. And we're excited about that because when we sat down with my mentor who takes care of so many great clients and and I see that personally myself. And when we sat down, this was something we were talking the same lingo, the same money talk. Because I'm like, yeah, we were talking about this. It's like, yeah, and we're when that time came, when I reached out to them and said, hey, lost my job, I'm definitely interested in how Five Rings can definitely not only bless my family but bless others, help them understand what money's about. It's not about how much money you accumulate, it's about protecting that from budgeting to debt to giving. I call it that your stewardship dollars and how you can give that on and generational wealth. Um, the Money 101 series is just one of the ways. There's Wine, Women, and Wealth that I discuss about too for just women. There's a networking event. And we're going to hear things today, but I just wanted to share with you because I was moved because of the stories of how many We heard from our carriers and stuff, the people that work hand in hand in the trenches with us to make sure that we have the right material to give to you, which is my family, because I want to make sure, just like Jesus, I want to make sure the flock is educated about what is going on with the markets, right? You need to understand that a 401k is typically in the market, which is it's really, really interesting right now. But what if you could protect that stewardship dollars by when the market goes up, you make money, but when the market goes down, you don't lose any money. Reach out to me or one of our uh, seasoned life benefit specialists. See, I don't want to be called an agent. I don't want to be called an insurance sales agent because that's just people like, oh, yeah, that. I'm like, really? We're part of 100. I didn't know this. We're part of 100,000 new people that are behind because that's how many people, 51, I think, was percentage of Americans don't have enough money. They're not going to outlive their money. What if me and our incredible team that we have across the 50 states can help you? What do you got to lose? I'm a client. And I'm not talking about Hair Club for Men. I am a client. I see the financial blessings. I understand the process. I'll be learning like Luke learned under Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi. I will be learning from Heather, from the person that introduced us, Angie Ritter, and how her story, she's going to be speaking tomorrow too. And I'm proud to be able to tell people that because I'm not afraid to tell people that I care enough for you that, hey, here's a brochure. If you want to know more about money, please go to this. That's it. I let Scott, Heather do the heavy lifting. I'm being mentored under them. And with such a strong foundation, the Virginia Beach area is growing and we need more people. So I'm doing it with a part time attitude. I mean, a full-time attitude, but with a part-time ability, because all my job is to do the next couple months is to invite people out to our Money 101 or our Wine and Wealth or our online so you can understand what I saw. And this is just day one. I was I was spent by 7 o'clock. I was spent. I had to get home. I want to spend some time with my wife and stuff. They had a bowling event. I just my back is sore. I just as a service disabled veteran, we were sitting down a lot, getting up and stuff, and I sore today. But guess what? God is good. God is great. I can't wait for today's closeout. I will hear more from our partners and how much money. I mean, when they've paid out over 122, I think it was $1 million in life benefits, which means somebody's life was changed because of that. They didn't have medical bankruptcy and so much more. And these men and women who represent these companies partner with us because they see the value and they have the same value system. I feel that I'm part of a loved community. There's diversity there. We have every type of person, religion doesn't matter. See, but we understand this is our higher calling. And when you have a higher calling and you believe and have faith in a process, they give you a process. You're not alone. And that's what I love about it is I wasn't alone when I said, what do I need to do? It's like they gave me a 90-minute training, Scott and Heather did, mainly Scott, because Heather was working with clients, because that's what she does. Scott is our presenter. Scott's got an incredible story. Heather's got an incredible story. So when I was sharing that, I said, hey, I was going back in the history of YouTube and I was watching your videos. I didn't realize how much you two have went through to get to the point that you have blessed so many people. Why? Because I appreciate that. I moved as I get older. I think I'm getting more emotional. I don't know what it is and stuff like that. But the stories that you hear and the stories that we're going to hear today, it moved me, almost brought me to tears because like, whoa, what is this? It feels like it's almost feeling like I'm at church at Refresh Church. I'm there because I'm with Jesus. And I feel that I'm with a bunch of people who care enough to give her their time, talents, and abilities to take care of their families, but they take care of your families. So I hope this is helpful, but I don't actually do next. Who do I call? Where do I start? I want to change my finances, but I don't know how. Tonight, I'm answering that question direct and honestly because today I'm going to tell you why I chose to work with Five Rings Financial because I'm a client. I'm seeing the financial seeds being laid in just a small 10-year plan. Now, because I've created multiple streams of income, I don't brag about that. That's because I have discipline. I'm persistent, consistent, and I understand how to market. But this is new because I am taking outside my comfort zone and I'm getting in front of people and I'm doing is like striking up a conversation, understanding their needs. I'm not forcing the situation, but I'm saying, hey, if you know of somebody, you might not be interested, please pass this on. Have them scan it. Have them come to the Money 101. It's an incredible 1 hour presentation. It's going to teach you things you didn't know, things you didn't know about money. And if you're not changed, then guess what? You're better educated and you can come back. And then eventually, when the timing is right, what's your why factor? And Scott asked me yesterday, what's my word? I'm reading a book about what's your why, right? From one of the recommended leaders that they have, right? And I was talking to a young lady from North Carolina. She's tired of her job and stuff. And I just encouraged her. I said, "You're reading an Eric Worre book for a reason. He talks about relationships in marketing. When I was dealing with marketing, I still deal with marketing. It's all about relationships. It's not leading with the product. It's leading with you as the mouthpiece. You're just saying enough to strike up a conversation. When you get good service at a company or that provide customer service, I had the same thing happen prior to this week. I was getting my fingerprints done. And I was talking to the lady, and I said, "Oh, guess what I'm going to be doing now?" Explain my story. She's like, "Oh, that's interesting because I'm former Army, special ops, doing this, and then I was also in the police department for 30 years, and then we decided to do this, me and the main owner. And guess what? They might be at 1-on-1 because they've been talking about this. You see how God put you in place to be able to bless others, and that's what I'm doing. I'm not. I'm not going to push religion on people. What I'm going to tell you is that because of my faith, God has planted me in the right ability. And with Five Rings Financial, you see the love. You see the love that Mike has for his wife and what he did for her, which was incredible. I mean, when you're when when your future wife, who you're with now, was told that she wasn't going to live because she had a debilitating disease. You see his mission and stuff for helping families financially because 60 something percent of people go medically bankrupt in America. That's got to stop today. And if you knew about what you knew about now because of somebody that cared, a life benefit specialist, including me, because I am officially a life benefit specialist here in the Hampton Roads area. I'm part of that 100,000 that's needed in our area and across the 50 states because there's such a need, and I read it across the news when I hear these horror stories where most people they don't have enough money to live for a retirement or whatever version of retirement you have. Because I gave them my time, talents, and abilities with the military, yeah, my body's beat up, but my mind is so focused right now on helping people understand stewardship dollars. And I feel that I'm at home because I have been blessed to be semi-retired, and I don't take that easy. So let's go to segment one. We were never taught how money works. Here's something that hit me hard the first time I heard it, and I want you to really sit with it. We go to school for 12 to 16 years. We're learning reading, math, history, science, literature, but one class, no one required courses in most America teaches us how money actually works. That's the gap that we fit. Think of Five Rings as the entity, as the vehicle that allows you to be able to speak using the money one, using the wine, women, and wealth to middle class America. You and I, we're not billionaires. We're not, but guess what? You can become part of that group that could earn while you learn. Just saying. It's a beautiful model because it reminds me of when I joined one of the companies I've been with for 3 years that has physical and digital products that are going global in May. My other company teaches me how to reach people. This teaches people about something that can change their lives and generationally can uplift and also help people understand money. Money is a tangible fiat currency that either goes up and goes down. You want to be protecting it when the market is going up. You have that protective blanket where you make money based on their rates. But when the companies are consistently every year going through it, and whether it's an annuity or whether it's living benefits, we're going to concentrate on living benefits because it's while you're living, you get terminal cancer, you get these, and you could see it in the eyes of the leadership team, including Heather, that they had to use these in the last couple weeks, and it breaks their heart, but it also is a joy because they're taking care of these families, mothers, fathers, kids whose lives have been changed because one of their loved ones has went on to be with Jesus or went on to the great beyond, whatever you want to call it. At this time, our school systems don't teach about money, and that was purposeful, right? They want us to be serving these corporations. But what if you could serve yourself by coming on board and understanding that you can work this part-time, learn from the best in the industry, and then if God has it upon you, you just share the word. The money 101s, use the flyers, you use social media, you use things that are available to you, both paid and free. And you just tell the world. It is like spreading the gospel. Some will hear it, some won't. I call it the transceiver and the receiver. The transceiver being a device that gets that signal, Jesus being in the middle of the cross, he's got to keep that signal not distorted. I use this in church. I use this in our inductive Bible study. And then you have to have a cryptographic device. In the military, it scrambles the zeros and ones. Then you go to the receiver, your ears. People need to listen because there's so many families struggling. And it's not about me. It is about you. Each and every one of you have to understand how to protect your money in America and beyond because it's getting harder and harder. I expect a version of Social Security, but I don't expect it to sustain me. It is something that I paid into because I'm paying into my parents, I'm paying into and to anybody that's retired right now. The system wasn't built to sustain the way it is, and it's been borrowed against for decades. And people need to wake up to it. And if there's vehicles out there that can cost anywhere from $100 to 200 based on what your goals are, allow the team at Five Rings in Virginia Beach and in the 50 states to help you. That's all we're doing. We're just going to give you the upper leverage that's been around. These companies been around for 100 plus years, our partners and stuff. And I hear it in their voices when I talk to their national correspondents that they really want to succeed because they love what they do, because they're changing people's lives daily. Every 40 seconds or 60 seconds, there's somebody has a stroke. There's more chances that you're going to use living benefits as you get older. So don't think of it as you're throwing money away. Think of it as a protective shield that allows your family not to lose their homes, not to lose everything that they worked hard for, because medical bankruptcy is real, especially in cases of Alzheimer's and all. I just learned this. And there's a lot of things that I knew about. I knew about the struggle, what's going on with the money because we printed so much of it, and I'm a avid reader and I follow the trends. I follow the global news. I follow things so I can understand how when I'm getting older, I want to retire around my mid 60s, right? But who knows? If I'm helping so many people, I might not say, "Oh, I'm going to do this," but I'm going to allow people within the organization to do the heavy lifting. All I have to do is invite, be a professional advocate. I still have to have my license and maintain that, but guess what? I can make money for me and my family, but I can also help you keep your money. So, And when we graduate, we get a job, we open a credit card, we get sign a loan and wonder why we're broke at 35. Why? Because we use the old system. We live in an instant gratification type system. Why? Because we're inundated by it 24/7. But if you have the discipline, like us in the military, we have discipline, we have purpose, we have honor, we have courage, we have commitment. My honor is I honored the country. I honored my family. I honored God, who came back into my life at age 25, reborn. And I honor you, each and every one of you who's struggling right now. So I just want the room to fill up. I want the room to fill up with so many people hungry to not only just hungry, but want to understand what Howard's talking about when it's Money 101 series. It's in the description phase. But I'm telling you, your life will be transformed. Even if you come back and you come back again and again, eventually you're going to get it. When the Holy Spirit gives you a sign, you need to listen to it through your heart. And that's what I feel. At Five Rings, they're a heart. They love one another. They love their clients. I see that with Heather. I see that with Scott. Um, and we just need more warriors out there. We need more warriors to help because we should have that room filled up. Because the process, is it easy? No, it's not. But they're making it where you use a simple education approach and then we strike up a conversation in the privacy of their home or business. So if you're police, firefighters, if you know people, please share this out with them. Tell them Howard sent you. We have a plan in place to protect you and your family. We're just waiting for one lucky person who wants to take a chance with the Virginia Beach Five Rings team. I'm going to tell you, and we want to bless you and your family because we understand those are dangerous jobs, that there could be one day that you're there and you are defending your city or county and something horrific happens, whether it's a car accident, whether you get shot or worse, you die. What if there was a plan in place that allows your family to be able to continue in your precious name because you're a warrior? In the military, they give you a certain amount of insurance, but that's a death insurance. But with living benefits, I'm just telling you, while you're living, more people at least have one chronic debilitation. Learned that yesterday too. And so I'm following just it's like they told me this is going to be like a lot of information coming like a fire hose, but that's fine. I'm used to getting information like that. But then I'll dissect it and I'll take little tidbits of it and okay, how can I apply this to help others here in Hampton Roads? First, the church, anybody that wants to know more about money, because I won't say I know everything. I don't know everything. I am basically at the kindergartner level, and I am excited about helping you. So we spend more time learning about Roman Empire than we do learn about compound interest. We spend more time memorizing the periodic tables than we do learning how to build a budget. And when we graduate, as I said before, you get a job, you get a credit card, you get student loans, you get sign a car loan, your house. Me personally, I wish every American, capable American, served the military at least 2 years. I don't care if you're Peace Corps, whatever. This would make society much better because what the military mindset does, it takes you from a civilian and breaks you down to a different ecosystem. You will be changed. When people saw the transformation from a shy boy, I was more confident as I entered high school and stuff, but I was shy. I was always the Mr. Nice guy with the girls, didn't have the confidence to ask females out. But now I'm like, okay, I'm married now, and I'm confident in who I am. But as you get older, you realize there's more importance in protecting your loved ones than there is of chasing titles. Yes, I did very incredible in my career and stuff, but it wasn't easy. It's because of my faith in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ that He allowed me to get my college degree in 1 year, accelerated program from Southern New Hampshire University, honors and national honors and leadership because I believe when you are being educated and you have the right resources. Now it was like drinking out of a fire hose because 2 classes every 8 weeks. You really are just memorizing the things to be able to understand that there's projects to do so you could understand the concept. So it's accelerated. It's the same way if you go to ECPI here locally. It's an accelerated program, and it's not for the faint-hearted. You gotta understand that there's times when you'll be there sometimes at 11 o'clock at night where your students working on stuff. But that's the difference, that discipline and purpose and understanding what your why is. Why are you doing it? Mine is to help our community. That's my why. I've been blessed and blessed and blessed to be investing at a young age, and I've seen the fruition. Now, it's taken time, discipline, heartache, tears, blood, sweat. But because I decided to sacrifice my time, because I believe in the American dream, I believe in capitalism, I believe in entrepreneurship, because I believe in stewardship. Next, when you pair these together and then you have a business model that is in such a need in America, in all 50 states, and you have an army who has the same systems, the money 101s, the women, wine, and wealth that were created, you're empowering women because women they're inheriting $3 trillion worth of assets typically. These are single moms, uh, people inheriting from their parents if their parents were lucky enough to be very good stewards of the money. But because exactly that's missing the education portion of it. It's not about products, it's not about policies, it's about education. At the cornerstone of the efforts lies the belief that in order to make your money work for you, you must understand the fundamentals of personal finance. That is the Money 101. That is why this series exists and why Five Rings Financial and what they do to fit together like gloves. How Money One connects to Five Rings. Let me connect the dots for you. Everything we covered in this series, every principle, every scripture, every action step has been building towards one goal: financially free life, what I call generational transfer of wealth. When you leave and you return to the Father, if you believe that you're going to be have this body here, this sinful body, and then your soul is going to go be with Jesus. I believe that. But while I'm here and with the breath of my body, I'm going to do my darndest to help people here on earth who are living in their own personal financial hell. So, financially free life. It's not rich essentially, it's free. Free from stress of debt, free from fear of retirement, fear from anxiety when that comes when you don't know if you can't cover next month's bills. But here's the truth: education alone doesn't get you there. You need a plan and you need the right tools to execute the plan. That's where Five Rings Financial comes in. They remind every client about the three hurdles obstructing the path between your financial starting point and your personal finish line: inflation, debt, death, and taxes. These are the silent enemies to the secure financial future: inflation, debt, taxes. We talked about the debt in series. We talked about stewardship. We talked about planning. Five Rings takes everything you learned and gives you the tools to actually implement it. And you just need a simple eighth grade education to understand this. They were the national agents which were using certain verbs: value and a guaranteed refund, instead of using all these other terminologies to be compliant. And they're trying to change that to make it so a simple person can understand. And then you, as the transceiver, are sending that signal back to the people who volunteer to say, yes, I want more information about this life benefits. I want more information about annuities. How can this help me and my family? If you can find money in my budget, which they will find money through an analysis, but you got to be honest with the people. We were honest about it. It's like, hey, this is what we already have here. Here's all our insurance, our annuities policies. And they're like, okay, you're in a pretty good situation, but let's see what we can do here with the money that you want to do here. So we took a significant amount of money, put it into a 10-year indexed account, protected. When the market goes up, I make money. It's capped at a certain rate. When the market goes down, there's a big zero, which I don't lose anything. That's what I'm excited about because I'm being a better steward of what has been provided me by the Father. So, with commitment to educating middle America about market alternatives, they pride themselves on helping you make financial decisions, tailoring a plan about your specific goals to create the peace of mind you deserve. Peace of mind, that's what it's all about. No flashy returns, no get rich quick scheme promises, peace of mind. Why I personally work with them. Now, let's get it personal for a second. As I said before, it's because Angie, who I connected with a good friend of mine, Associate Pastor Duke White, I went to FFX Theater one day. And then I got to talk to Angie and say, why don't you come up to our Money 101 so you can learn about money and see if this is something that we can look at all your finances the way you have it. Sounds like you're in a pretty good situation, but let's see if we can put you in a better financial situation, protecting even more of that money. And they did. They continue to do that. And I'm taking my 401k from work for my cyber career and I'm rolling that over. We've already got the policy approved. We're just waiting for the official stuff to be shipped out. So then Heather can sit down with me. Boom, we sign the paperwork. And then every year we meet with Heather, or one of our incredible leaders who cares about you. And we go over the results and we go over, do we need to adjust stuff? Right now, we're strictly staying with the indexed accounts. When the market goes up, you make money. When the market goes down, you lose no money. Scott's going to teach you through our 7 financial tools. Now, Scott is another incredible person, former Navy officer. Let's just say he's lived an incredible, dangerous life. But their story is incredible. Him and Heather, incredible people. We love them as a family because we're seeing the financial blessings. So why would I want to work with people who love helping people? Gee, doesn't that sound like serving others? Jesus commands us to serve others. Leads with education, not sales. I've been around financial people who lead with product. They're selling before they even ask what you need. Five Rings is different. Their own team says it best. Middle America will make great decisions if they have the tools to do that. We teach you the very basic money principles in that 1 hour. And then all we ask is that you lean in and you can ask questions, but we want to do that in a private setting for you. That's why we have a survey to fill you out. And what if it took $5 a day? Scott's going to teach you about $5 a day. I'll teach you. What if you could put little Timmy through college or more? Anything. And you're just taking some of that financial seed, that spiritual deposit you get every 2 weeks, and you're putting it into a vehicle that allows you to use the power of the eighth wonder of the world, compound interest. What if you could use tax deferred interest where you get up to a certain age and it's completely tax free? Would that make you sleep better? That's where we come in. 2, focused on people like myself. This isn't a company built for Wall Street investors. It's with 6-figure portfolios. Money is necessary, but part of everyone's life, but also something over which most families and individuals stress, fight, and worry about every day, especially middle America. It's not making of millions, but rather just being comfortable, both now and in the future. Being able to pay today's bills while still preparing for today's education for the kids or retirement income for you and your spouse. You work too hard for your money. You get taxed up to 50%. Now, because Howard is self-employed now, right now, because he had the W-2 taken away, but he does have his VA disability and he has his military pension and he has his other business income. I'm known as the Home Profit Coach Inc. LLC. I'm partnering and using technology and education to help the lost understand money. That's my audience. That is probably you, regular people, hard-working families, people who want to be smart with what they have. Use smart strategies. We live in a world where the market goes up and the market crashes down. Regular people get hurt every time it does. Alternatives that stay volatile market create solutions to help you protect you and your hard-earned savings. If you're looking to capture upside potential without risk, leverage your retirement and secure a family legacy, they use safe money strategies to help you systematically prepare for retirement and unexpected financial challenges you may face later in life. The upside potential without risk. That's not a gimmick. That's a strategy. It builds specifically for people who cannot afford to lose what they've worked so hard to save. Believes in generational wealth. This one's sealed for me. Their mission, my mission, is to create generational wealth and financial independence while providing support and guidance for both clients and our 5 Ring family agents with their business families, generational wealth. We're not talking about retirement account. We're talking about leaving what is behind, what your children inherit, what your grandchildren start with. That is legacy conversation. That's faith, finance, and biblical principles. And that is biblical conversation. Proverbs 13:22 says, a good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children. Five Rings Financial is building towards that same vision. That's why I'm here. What Five Rings actually does, the tools they bring to the table. So, what does Five Rings actually offer? They break it down simply. They offer a range of services, including tax deferred strategies, annuities, life insurance, and living benefits and college planning to help clients achieve their aspirations. Let me unpack a few of them. Tax-free retirement. Most people don't realize there are retirement strategies that grow your money tax-free, not tax deferred. Tax-free. That means you keep more of what you build. Life insurance with living benefits. Life insurance don't have to die to use. This means if you get critically ill, your policy can pay out while you're still alive. It's protection plus a financial tool. We lean more on the living benefits because a lot of the carriers carry that stuff included. Whether you get an annuity, whether you get a policy, it's included in there and it's zero cost to you. But that's where we come in. We're armed with these things because these carriers, they don't make their money by doing it themselves. They rely on life benefit specialists like myself, who they train, who they make sure we're equally yoked. So we have an easy transition process because we need 100,000 more people like myself to be an army. And we can. We can. You're doing what I'm doing. People are struggling right now. They're struggling. And I don't take that for granted because I serve this country. I've seen what third world countries go through. I have lived it. I have understood it. And it's my passion to help you today. Annuities. Today, annuities offer an array of features and benefits that can generate an income you can't outlive, provide a legacy for loved ones, and even help you take care of long term care expenses that need arise. Income you cannot outlive, and that is retirement security. They have that. The $5 a day principle. Scott will talk about it, and our different leaders will talk about it across the 50 states, using smart principles that show people how much wealth is achieved in America with simple things like the $5 a day savings plan over long periods of time with interest rates. This is for everyone. You don't need to be wealthy to start. Here's my call to action. Here's what I want you to do right now. If anything I said tonight resonates with you, if you've been watching this Money 101 series and thinking, I need to actually get a plan together, take the next step. Reach out to me directly or go to the link that's provided, and I'll provide that on the screen. If you're in the greater 757 area, we've got some events happening. All right, man. Then I got to get ready because I've got another powerful day, people, of learning to help others. Here's the link right here, the Money 101 series. This is crucial here. So as you can see, I'll put it on the screen here. Dude, from the way you talk, you've never been without anything. Lonnie, actually, I come from a lower middle class family in Connecticut. I'm not a rich dude, but I'm rich in the spirit. And so to me, that means that you have a problem with people who want to help others. Does that make sense, Ronnie? Isn't that what Jesus wants us to command us to do? So I'm not here to argue. I'm here just to share information. And you can take that information and utilize that for good to help bless people, or you can take that information and use it to harm people. I'm using it to bless others. That's the key. So our Money 101 series is here. It's in the description phase. Join and it's not a sales seminar, but rather an educational, entertaining workshop. The Money 101 will introduce you to the 7-time proven financial tools and strategies that are essential for college funding, retirement planning, tax reduction, or just simple wealth accumulation. Any person that signed up to the military just said, I will defend it and support the Constitution of the United States, both foreign and domestic, and I know that I could die. You think that I was selfish about that? No. I made an adult decision at the age of 19 to step away from a situation because I believed that the military could help me in my journey. And that's what I do here. I help people in their journey. So, as I said before, there's going to be people that might not agree with what I do, but at the end of the day, don't you want to arm you and your family with the right information and start listening to the nonsense of the news, the world out there that's trying to take your money and doesn't want you to thrive in the marketplace? I'm just going to tell you. When you say, dude, from the way you talk, you've never been out anything. Yeah, Ben, I fought for my benefits. And I look at it and I don't take offense to it. I just think that people unfortunately become ignorant when it comes to money. Money is just a tangible bartering tool that allows you to purchase things. You, as a consumer, need to be a better steward of what has been provided to you by the Father. By the Father, I mean by Jesus. Some things happen. The doors open at 6 p.m. and we start promptly at 6:30. That's in Virginia Beach at the 757 area code. Reserve your spot. That's Money 101. Now, we also have another Money 101 that's coming up. That's the same day, March 11th, next Wednesday. I hope to see you. Lunch and learn. That's at our headquarters. You'll get to meet Heather, potentially Scott, and learn about the money secrets the wealthy have known for years. 12:15 to 1:30. So if you got a break, definitely join us. That room does fill up really quickly, and it's the same way. But you got to reserve the spot. There'll be some food there. And April, and we have March 30th. You want to know more about becoming what I talked about, becoming part of that Five Rings family? Right here. That's Heather next to one of our leaders here. I met her. She's got an incredible story. Where they're in, I think in the Fredericksburg area. Their team's growing too in Virginia. Angie's next to the E. That's person who jumped. Scott right there. That's Scott. He's our presenter for our Money 101. I'm trying to see who else. The person next to the five. I've met her. We've got Mary. We've got a huge original gangsters. Basically, this is a online version of it. We're attracting great leaders who are ambitious, self-sufficient, and seeking opportunity to be part of a group of world-class leaders. This overview will give everyone who's interested in exploring the opportunity of becoming part of that 100,000 of needed life benefits specialists to learn more about what we do, how we do it, and what is possible as an advocate or agent, part-time or full-time. Virtual doors open 5 minutes prior to start. This will be a quick 30 to 40 minutes, and no one will be admitted past the 5 minutes. You need to reserve your spots. Next, we have in April, I talked about the Wine, Women, and Wealth. This is a great networking opportunity that allows you and very powerful women here in Hampton Roads and across the 50 states is a community of women supporting each other in businesses and a relationship with money. We believe that empowered and educated women make great decisions with their money. Remember, I said earlier, they're inheriting $3 trillion of transformational wealth in the next couple of years and decades. Don't you want to have your wife, your daughter financially armed with the right information? Part networking, part financial education, and part girls' night out. You are sure to have a great time and meet some amazing women. There'll be wine, light refreshments, and there's no cost for you to attend. We welcome you to bring a girlfriend or two because we're committed than ever to supporting and encouraging more people. That's what we're about. That's what Five Rings is about. They're about helping you and your family live the best life you can live. With that being said, take care. God bless. And I'm looking forward to helping each and every one of you become the best version of yourself. With that being said, take care. And I'm looking forward to helping each and every one of you be better educated about money. And I hope to see you at our Money 101 series this Wednesday. As I said before, I've got to get ready because we've got day 2 of our regional Five Rings uh, extravaganza. It's my first official event, and I'm excited about it. I'm on fire. I've got some great ideas of how we can help our communities. And again, please, if you know any firefighters or union members that want to know more information, reach out to myself or the Brinkman Group. That's who I represent. That's who's mentoring me. That's who's I'm a client of. I'll put the information up here. Firefighters, anybody in high risk situations where you could die doing your job. Military, my fellow vets, protect like you protected the country. Protect your family's legacy, living benefits. There's ways to take your 401ks, your thrift savings plans. We have the vehicles to help you even triple that money and protect it. Just reach out or attend one of our Money 101s. You'll see me around the Hampton Roads area. I am avid about helping active duty retirees protect their money that God has stewarded over because you were a warrior for America. Now it's time to take care of you and your family. With that being said, please, please, please share this out, like it. I hope you and your family stay blessed. Bye.